one.
Hey guys, this is Wings of Redemption, and we're back for Painkiller Already, episode 9. Today we have a very special guest. It's our it's actually our second female guest. I keep forgetting about Brittany because she never said anything.
Oh.
But we have Mrs. Woodysgamertag with us tonight.
Hi, how are you?
And there she is. There she is.
Yes.
My wife.
All
Hi,
right.
How are you?
Maybe we should start with a cool story of the week, bro, since we have the two together. And maybe we should do how they met.
You know, I was thinking that too. I was thinking, so normally every week I do this story from like my childhood or teenage years.
You have lots of them.
and this week, and one of the ones that it never gets chosen is how we met.
Why is that?
Well, he always has.
cares?
People do
The
care
alternative is always just so cool.
Yeah, the alternatives. There's a couple of good ones. I came up with like catchy titles for them all,
Okay.
and I think it helps the other ones get selected. But I get PMs all the time asking how we met.
Okay.
So
I snagged you. That's how we met.
so here's the deal.
I want to hear how you think we met, and then how I think we met.
All right. So
I can tell you what he's been telling us.
Okay.
He was starring a Mr. Universe contest, and and you were a judge, and he was like the runner-up in it.
That sounds about right.
I was only runner-up because she slept with me.
Okay.
I got her vote. No, all right. So here's the deal. In high school, I had bad grades, and I went to college and kind of turned things around. In my first semester in college, I had like a 3.2, which is not really an outstanding GPA, but for a 1.98er like me out of high school, this was like a whole new me. I had learned to study, and I was having some success in college, and I was excited.
And then you met me.
Oh, my. So anyway, there was this thing that people did. They called it chop suey. I lived on the F floor, which I guess would be the 6th floor of the dorms. And you know how stairways go up like half a flight and they turn around and you can go up half a flight and you can sort of see all the way to the bottom. And, you know, normal people are content to just see how far they can spit like between the little handrails until it hits one. But in my dorm, they used to drop things like food or like jars of jelly or salsa.
Goats.
What'd you say?
Guns.
No.
Goats.
So I had finished my last final in my first semester in college, and I was pretty excited. And I was dropping like jelly and cleaning out the refrigerator to go home for winter break. Someone's blowing on their mic. But so anyway, I did that, and what's above an RA? The RD. Right? She's the person who's in charge of all the RAs, if I remember. And she got mad. She heard the jelly like shatter at the outside her door, and she came all the way up, and she's like, you know, did you guys drop the jelly? And there were 2 of us that did it, and there were 3 of us around.
He will eventually get to the point where he meets me, but
I
it's
swear,
a
yeah.
long way to
We're
get
on our
there.
way there. So anyway, she looks at me and she's like, "Did you drop the jelly?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am. I don't even like jelly. I might have an allergy, as a matter of fact. I didn't drop the jelly. I don't have any jelly." And
You'll find none of it in my fridge.
So then what she does is she points to the 3 of us. She says, "I'm holding you guys responsible for this jelly. And it's me, my partner in crime, and another guy who didn't do anything." So when this innocent guy was, you know, about to take a fall, I was like, all right, I dropped the jelly. It was me. So I meet them the next morning with some sort of like trial. It's me, the RD, and like some sort of authority figure at the college. And they're like, "Did you drop the jelly?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Have you been dropping the jelly a lot?" And I'm like, I think it was like my 2nd time. Now that was about the truth. The truth is there was like 15, 20 different parties or groups that would do this. And but when they caught me, they thought I was responsible for like every piece of dropped food down that stairwell all semester long. And they threw me out of the dorms for 4 semesters, which was ridiculously harsh. So I tried to explain, like, look, I'm not from around here. You know, I can't just commute from home. This is a really big deal. You know, if you throw me out of the dorms, I don't know how I'm going to get a college education. This is not a small thing. And they're like, well, you can appeal it. So I did, and somehow in my brilliant oratory, the 4 semesters got bumped up to 5, and yeah, so this was a wreck. So the next semester comes back, and I'm on the college swim team. I'm a pretty good swimmer, and I talk to my coach, and I'm like, Coach, what can you do for me here? I'm in some trouble. And he gets it knocked down to the current semester, so it's just a couple more months plus community service, and this is where the meeting of the wife comes in. So, you would think, like, what do they do with the delinquents, the people who cause trouble around college? They could be cleaning the police cars or picking up trash, and I think those were actually choices that they gave me. But the one I picked was babysitting. I worked in like a daycare. And Jackie's friend was there her So where are we here? Jackie's friend was there. She told Jackie to come in and come see me. And Jackie brought food for her friend. Her guise was that her friend had forgotten her lunch, so she stopped by and gave her food. And the truth was, I think I was at least as interested in the food as I was in Jackie.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, because I was
hungry.
I was feeding myself for the first time ever. There were no cafeterias, no nothing, and I kept coming back for more food, like another bite of her lunch, and another bite of her lunch, and
I had jelly beans.
Jelly beans, I remember those.
Yeah.
And I was gorgeous at the time. Do you remember?
Had no hair. And ugly orange, wrestling shoes?
You couldn't, they were track and field shoes.
Oh, okay, track and field shoes.
And obviously, you couldn't resist them.
I could not resist them.
Yeah.
They were the ugliest shoes I've ever seen.
And
I think I did see a man on the street the other day with uglier shoes and thought, oh, Woody would like those.
So the no hair thing, it wasn't because I was going bald, it was because I was a swimmer. And I had shaven every little hair on my body that wasn't covered by those tiny old school bikini swimsuit things.
Eyebrows too?
No, I think I had eyebrows.
You had eyebrows.
Okay.
Yeah. But there was no hair on my arms, legs, or head, and I had fluorescent orange track shoes, and she couldn't resist. So she gave me this little note. I had a side job where I taught kids how to swim.
I didn't give you a note. The kid gave you a note.
Right. She had.
You didn't even tell him the story right.
She had this.
You tell this long, detailed story about how you dropped the jelly, the trial, you're kicked out of the dorms. You get to my part, and it's all a blur. Like, I don't really remember how I met her. I can think she was kind of there, and she had food. I'm not really sure what kind of food.
So I was coaching this little swim team, and she had this little teeny bopper give me a note saying
teeny bopper. It was a little
to call
boy.
her. Yeah.
He's not a teeny bopper. He's some little kid.
That's what I'm going for here.
Okay, what was I wearing? That's your favorite part of the story.
The time we met. Yeah. So when she met me to check me out to see if I was worth sending a note to, she had her shirt unbuttoned down to like her belly button.
Not true. But
she had like 2 buttons buttoned, and
not. I was wearing my father's shirt.
She was showing the goods.
There are no goods.
So
I think I might have been like 96 pounds at 5'7" with Julia Roberts curls in my hair at the time.
Nice. All right.
Jersey girls for the win.
Yes, it was. My hair was wasn't teased big.
97 pounds and a good 12 of them were in her hair. So she has this little kid hand me the letter, and I was actually pretty psyched at first because she's hot. And I was like, all right, I'm totally calling her. I've got myself a date. And then I realized it was April 1st. So I didn't call. I was like, they're playing a trick on me. Yep. And they were mad at me, the next couple of days. They were like, why didn't you call? And I was like, well, it was April Fool's. I thought you were playing a joke on me. So I called the next week, and that was that. And we still celebrate April Fool's as when we met 17 years later.
Wow, that's
17? 92? I don't know. You do the math.
18?
18 years. See, you were wrong.
Whatever.
A long time ago.
So there's the how I met my wife story. I was doing
that's a
community
pretty cool story.
service.
I got some flashbacks when you mentioned the jelly, though. I went with I may have told this story before, but I went on spring break whenever I graduated high school, and we were on the 12th floor of this hotel. Now, I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a terrible idea if they had known that I was going on the trip, because I like to break stuff. And, I mean, I'm 18 years old. I'm actually one of the oldest people that are there. A lot of them were 17. So, like, I'm